Hello everyone, my name is Diksha Kotwar and the topic I'm presenting on is evaluation of the performance efficiency of the banking sector in India using data envelopment analysis. Now, what data envelopment analysis actually is. So, data envelopment analysis is a non-parametric technique used for the evaluation of efficiency and data envelopment analysis right from its inception has been used in a large scale because of its large application area, as it is able of handling as it is capable of handling large amount of data and is compatible with profit as well as non-profit oriented organizations. It is an extreme point method and compares each DMU with only the best DMU. The DMU that DMU here means decision making units, and in this study the DMUs considered are the banks, 5 public sector banks and 5 private sector banks. Data envelopment analysis is a linear programming based technique which is used for measuring the relative performance of any organization, which can be a firm or any bank. Or any bank. So it also has various models, but the model that I have used in this study is CCR model. CCR model is named after Chance, Cooper and Rhodes, and it is the first and most widely used model of data envelopment analysis. It was developed under the assumption that an increase in the production resource results in a proportional increase in the output. So next. Why is it necessary to evaluate the performance of banking sector? Firstly, bank plays a vital role in the economic development of the nation, of any nation, and public sector banks and private sector banks also plays a vital role in the financial system or in the economic system of any country, as it provides financial services and securities to general public. The performance evaluation is also necessary to determine the operational results and the overall financial condition. It also helps to measure the quality of assets and the management quality of any bank. So in order to ensure a healthy financial system and efficient economy, it is very important to evaluate and analyze the banking system. This chart shows the 5 public sector banks and 5 private sector banks. These banks are taken on the basis of market capitalization. So the top 5 public sector banks are State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, IDBI Bank, Union Bank and Bank of Baroda, and top 5 private sector banks are HDFC Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank and Bandhan Bank. These banks are taken based on the market capitalization as on 2/5/2020. So the input variables considered are deposits, interest expenses, assets, and output variables are advances, investments and interest income. So this chart shows the brief overview of analysis. In the left side we can see the decision making units are the banks, and on the right side we can see the performance efficiency of those banks for the respective year, that is from 2015 to 2019. As we can see, State Bank of India has been consistent throughout for the period of 5 years, that is from 2015 to 2019, and all the other banks are slightly inefficient because the efficiency score is below 1. If the score is below 1, the banks are considered inefficient, and if the score is 1, the banks are considered highly efficient banks. So we can see only State Bank of India and Bandhan Bank only State Bank of India and Bandhan Bank has shown constant performance for the period of 5 years and is highly efficient, has been performing very efficiently for the period of 5 years. and all the other banks are showing a little bit inefficiency in their process performance. Now, this chart shows the difference in efficiency calculation for the considered banks for the respective years of 2015 and 2019. As we can see, State Bank of India and Bandhan Bank are consistent throughout, that is from 2015 and 2019. But all the other banks, in case of Punjab National Bank, we can see the performance efficiency has been increased as compared to 2015. Then IDBI Bank has not much shown the improvement. It has also been constant but below the efficiency level. Then Union Bank of India has also improved their performance. Bank of Baroda, but in case of Bank of Baroda, as we can see in 2015, the performance efficiency of Bank of Baroda was very good, but in 2019 the performance efficiency dropped below. Then in case of HDFC Bank, the performance efficiency has also been increased. Then Kotak Mahindra Bank also same. ICICI Bank has been constant but below the efficiency level. Then in case of Axis Bank, we can see the same, that is it has been increased its performance efficiency as compared to 2015. But all these banks, all these 8 banks are below the level of efficient banks, that is the score is below 1. So the sources of inefficiency, this table shows the sources of inefficiency of the 8 banks. I've not taken State Bank of India and Bandhan Bank because those banks were highly efficient in their performance. So these are the 8 inefficient banks, and as we can see, assets, deposits, and interest expenses, the amount is very high, because this amount is in crore, and the amount is very high as compared to advances, investments, and interest incomes. These are the outputs and these are the inputs. And in case of each bank, we can see the assets, deposits, and interest expenses is very much more than advances, investments, and interest income. Next. So the findings are State Bank of India and Bandhan Bank does not show any difference, as we can see in the chart, any difference in efficiency for the span of 5 years whatsoever, because they have successfully maintained the efficiency level. All banks besides Bank of Baroda succeeded to increase their initial efficiency in the year 2019, but Bank of Baroda has dropped the efficiency in the year 2019, and in 2015 it performed very efficiently, but in 2019 it performed below the benchmark, below as compared to 2015. In 2019 it performed very inefficiently. Then Punjab National Bank observes a huge jump in efficiency from its initial in 2015, as can be seen in the chart. Out of all the 10 banks under study, only 2 are efficient and rest 8 are inefficient, which means majority of the banks, that is 80% of the banks, are inefficient. Then from this study, we can conclude that the major factor resulting in the poor performance of these 2 banks, these 8 banks, is their huge amount of deposits, advances, and other assets. So here, either these banks possess blocked or non-performing assets, or are not able to make a set off between the deposits and advances. And it is found out that out of 8 inefficient banks, most of them are overusing their input variables. Deposits, assets, interest, and expenses are found in excess respectively, which results in their inefficiency. It is observed that lack of proper utilization of input is the main source of inefficiency. Thus, it is concluded that majority of the banks are inefficient. That is out of 10 banks, 8 banks are inefficient. Further, excessive usage of input variables but lack of their proper utilization to produce accordingly increased output is the main source of inefficiency. These results, if considered, can help these 8 inefficient banks, to locate their shortcomings and improve their efficiency accordingly. These banks can consider State Bank of India and Bandhan Bank as the benchmark banks, and can improve their process and performance by studying the operational activities, or by studying the whole financial system of these banks. Thank you.